And the first pitch sails outside here on this brisk Saturday afternoon at Jimmy John's Field here in Utica, Michigan, as we get set for some conference play for the first time this season between the visiting Crusaders of Indiana Tech and your Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. I'm Chase Kaufman here with you on this great day for some whack baseball as the next pitch sails outside to make it 2-0 now. Sam Brace on the mound for the Blue Devils. A junior out of Metamora, Illinois, stands in at 6'5", 245 as he throws the first strike in the game. Went to Metamora Township High School. And at the plate is the right fielder for the Crusaders, Jacob Alvidrez. Ball 3 high and outside now. Brace, the ace of the team. 5 games started this season with a 5.4 ERA in 20 innings pitched as that grounder sails right up the middle to him for the easy toss, 1 away. Lineup for the Crusaders, batting second is going to be Reese Olden playing center field. Batting third, the catcher Glenn McLean. Batting fourth, the designated hitter Branson Dawson. Batting fifth, the third baseman Kyle Harvey. Batting sixth, the first baseman Grant Heisinger. Batting seventh, the shortstop Jake Ritson. Batting eighth, the left fielder Trevor McDonald. And batting ninth, the second baseman Brandon Birch. So 1 away early here as that breaking pitch sails outside. Brace appeared in 17 games last season, finished with a 6-3 record and a 3.7 ERA. 2-1 now. And another grounder goes back up to the middle of Brace. A little bit of an errant throw. Pulled Corbett off the bag a little bit. And I assume that's going to be an error on Brace. And it will be. So Olden advances to first on an error. And that's going to bring up Glenn McLean. Catching for Brace is going to be Max Cadman over at first, as I just mentioned. Brian Corbett at second, Logan Grizel. At short, Ryan Robinette. At third, Tyler Childs. In left, Luke Bushy. In center, Eddie Dobkowski. And in right is Sean Fannin, the Gold Glove Award winner from last season. As Brace gets a pitch in low there for a called first strike. Batter's just hitting .250 against Brace this season, but with a 5.4 ERA. Last season they hit .302. And LTU able to turn the double play, get out of that first inning error. And we have a scoreless top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first where the Blue Devils try to get on the board first. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Back here at Jimmy John's Field as we head to the bottom of the first. And Nate McBroom sails the first pitch in for a strike. Nate McBroom comes in with a 3.4 ERA out of Wichita, Kansas. Went to Mays South High School, standing in at 6'1", 190. And at the plate is the center fielder, number 11, Eddie Dobkowski. So he sails one to center field, and it's going to drop for a single. So Blue Devils on the base paths here early as they try to get on the board first. Max Cadman, the catcher, is going to be up next up. We'll get to the Blue Devils order. Sean Fannon's going to be batting third, the right fielder. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Brian Corbett. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Logan Barker. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Ryan Robinette. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Tyler Childs. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Luke Pushy. And batting ninth, Logan Grizel, the second baseman. Cadman shows bunt a little early there, pulls it back. Count now 0-1. Next pitch, a swinging strike high. Dobkowski, a bit of a factor on the base pass. Has 5 stolen bases this year, 8 last season. Batting .308 this year. Nothing on the pickoff attempt. Cadman batting .333 this year. Just 8 for 24 in 8 games started. And a failed bunt attempt there from Cadman. Now 1-2. Cadman started 22 of the 29 games as a freshman. Only batted .203 that season, but had a much better season last season as he drives one to right field. Dobkowski will hold at second as Alvarez brings it in. And now we have runners on first and second, nobody down. That'll bring up one of the better hitters on this team, Sean Fanning. He's batting .339 this season. Batted .343 last season and .327 the year before that. 4 home runs last season, 7 before that. Has yet to have one this season yet. And there wouldn't be much of a better time than to do it right now. 2 men on, nobody down. Bottom of the first. No score. Indiana Tech ranked 16th in the NAIA poll as of a few days ago on the 20th. And Fannin drills one left field at the warning track. And it's gone. 3-run shot there for Fannin. And the Blue Devils on the board first. 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. He must have heard me from up here. Said there was no better time to do it, and he did it. I thought the left fielder McDonald might have had it for a second there. It didn't look to be too far out of his reach. Maybe a foot or two over the wall. But nonetheless, Blue Devils with an early 3-0 lead. And that's going to bring up Brian Corbett, see if he can get something going still. Oh, and 2 early on Corbett, the first baseman. Corbett, a junior out of Miamisburg, Ohio. Drills one down the right field line, just foul. Corbett batting .400 this season, 14 for 35. No home runs, 9 RBIs. And that fastball sails a little bit high. 2-2 now. Still nobody down, 3-0 lead for the Blue Devils. And Corbett drills one to left field. And McDonald stumbles a bit, able to get it in though. And the Blue Devils now with 4 hits in their first 4 plate appearances. Really giving it to this 16th ranked Crusaders team. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Logan Barker. And we're going to get an early mound visit here to McBroom. McBroom's been pretty solid all season. His last couple appearances, he went 4.5 innings on 1 earned run. And then last one he had 1 earned run on 6 innings. And now he's got 3 earned runs on no innings. So as I mentioned, that's going to bring up Barker now. Logan Barker out of Chatham, Virginia, a software engineering major, batting .355 this season. He pops one sky high to right field. Oliver Drez under it, and Corbett will hold at first for the first out of the game.
The shortstop, number 27, Ryan Robinette.
That'll bring up the shortstop, Ryan Robinette. Ryan, a junior out of Midland, Michigan, lays down a bunt. McBroom fields it, not able to get it to him cleanly, and that'll be an infield single for Robinette. Runners now on first and second with only 1 down. Blue Devils are really making McBroom work here in the first inning. We'll see how deep he can go in this game, considering he's probably already thrown 20 to 25 pitches. First one a bit outside. One and one now. 1 down. Corbett the runner at first, Robinette, or Corbett at second, Robinette at first. Robinette getting a solid lead. This Childs drills one down the right field line, just foul. Childs, a junior out of Burt, Michigan, went to Bertrand High School. Stands in at 6 feet, 185, a junior in mechanical engineering. Batting .500 this year, 16 for 32. So really putting up some good numbers in the 7 spot. They did rule that infield single for Robinette an error. So the Blue Devils will remain at 4 hits in the first inning with still just 1 down as Childs calls time at the plate. Childs with 12 singles, 4 doubles on the year. Just 6 strikeouts and 32 at-bats. And he drills one up the middle. Ritson able to get the man at second and the guy at first to Heisinger. So that'll end the Blue Devils inning with just one out and runners left on first and second. However, Sean Fannin gives the Blue Devils an early 3-0 lead with a 3-run shot to left field. So the Blue Devils will try to maintain this lead heading into the top of the second. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Now in the top of the second, as Brace puts one in at 74 miles an hour just outside. Brandon Dawson now the hitter, designated hitter, number 14. Brandon Dawson out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hitting a whopping .418 so far this season. He is 23 for 55 as Brace puts in a breaking ball in for strike two. 2-2 now. Top of the second. Blue Devils lead 3-0 after a Sean Fannin 3-run shot in the first. Brace's pitch missed just inside to bring it to a full count now. And Dawson fouls one back out of the play. Brace had an error early in the first inning on a throw over to first. Was able to get McLean to ground into a double play, however, the very next batter. And now he's back on track as he sails one outside for a walk to Dawson, and the leadoff runner gets on base. It's going to bring up Kyle Harvey, the third baseman. Harvey batting .311 this season, 1 home run. Kyle Harvey from Washington State, that is. A junior at 5'10". And Brace hits him on the first pitch of the at-bat. So now we're going to have runners on first and second with nobody down. So 3 runners on base so far this game for Brace. However, still has not allowed a hit. He's got an error, a walk, a hit by a pitch, but no singles. That'll bring us to the 6th man in the order, Grant Heisinger, the first baseman. Looks like Coach Stan Elger is going to have a word with Brace real quick. So a quick word. And now Brace will look to get back on track. Heisinger, just 3 games started this season, 3 games played, 2 for 10. So he's only betting 200, but that's a pretty small sample size. Shows bunt again. Now 2-0. Sam having a bit of trouble finding the plate early in the game. The Blue Devils were 11-0 to start the season, but after they restarted back this late winter, early spring, they had a few losses over their spring break trip, and now they sit at 16-7 overall. Obviously 0-0 in the conference as they begin conference play today. They will play 2 9-inning games against Indiana Tech. So after the first one's over, don't go anywhere. Stick around for game 2. 3-0 now on Heisinger. Got to think he'll take a pitch here. Brace has been pretty wild thus far. Now Brace gets in there, back to 3-1. And that pitch just hits the outside corner. 3-2 now on Heisinger. Heisinger was ready to trot down to first after that one. Brace has been a little errant this season with just under a 2-to-1 walk to or strikeout to walk ratio. 28 strikeouts, 15 walks. See if we can get this better here now. The 3-2. Hit him right in the helmet. And you could hear that from up here. Looks like it got him in the forehead. Brace threw a breaking ball that just got away from him. All right, so we're back here after Heisinger had a little bit of a scary moment, got hit somewhere near the head as Ritson grounds the short to second for one and to first for the second. So Brace will definitely take that double play in exchange for a run. 2 down now. However, Indiana Tech gets on the board to make it a 3-1 game. So now we have just a runner on third with 2 down as Trevor McDonald, the left fielder, steps in. The lefty grounds to Robinette at short. And a nice scoop there from Corbett, who shows the umpire the ball as he crossed the pitcher's mound. And Brace gets out of a jam quickly, only allowing 1 run after the base loaded with no outs. We'll head to the bottom of the second, LTU with a 3-1 lead. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Back here at Jimmy John's Field as Luke Boucher steps into the plate. The left fielder pops one sky high, but that's going to get out of play. Luke, a freshman from Frankenmuth, Michigan. Went to Swan Valley High School. 1-1 count now. One and two now on Boucher, batting 125 this season. 10 games started, just 3 for 24, however. 9 runs, though, this season. Has walked 7 times. He swings through one there. And McLean will complete the out to Heisinger for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Logan Grizel, the second baseman, now heading to the bottom of the order for the Blue Devils. Grizel, a junior out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. He swings through the first pitch at 81 miles an hour. Next pitch, a breaking ball hits the outer edge for a called strike 2. Grizel batting .421 this season. 12 games played, 9 games started. And Grizel caught looking on 3 straight pitches. That one just hit the outside edge. 2 down now as we head back to the top of the order where Eddie Dobkowski will try to get things going with 2 outs. Dobkowski fouls the first one back and out of play. Dobkowski singled in his first at-bat, ended up scoring off the Sean Fanon 3-run shot. 0-2 now. McBroom making quick work this inning. 5 strikes in a row. And make that 6. 2 back-to-back strikeouts looking. And we'll head to the top of the third. Blue Devils still with a 3-1 lead here at Jimmy John's Field. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network.
The second baseman, number 2, Brandon Birch.
Now to the Crusaders' bottom of the order. Brandon Birch, the second baseman, looks at a high ball 1. Brandon Birch out of Ocean, Indiana. Batting just 45 this season. 1 for 22. But he drills one right up the middle off brace. And that's going to make that 2 for 23 now. So Birch gets on early and brings it to the top of the order, while Alvarez will try to move him up. And that is Brace's first hit allowed this game. However, his 5th base runner. Alvarez grounded out to Brace in his first at-bat. First pitch, a called strike. Alvarez out of Sacramento, California. And he grounds one to Grizel to second for 1. And cannot get him at first. So that'll go down as a fielder's choice in the scorecard. And we'll now have 1 down.
The center fielder, number 9, Reese Olden.
Reese Olden now steps to the plate. He also grounded to Brace in the first inning. However, Brace made a throwing error, so he was able to get on the base paths. First pitch, tap foul. See if Olden can take advantage of the 9 spots single now that they're at the top of the order. Pick off attempt down, throw to first. Not in time. Didn't look like Corbett got the tag on him. 1-1 now to Olden with 1 down, man on first. Blue Devils lead 3-1 here in the top of the 3rd. Indiana Tech 13-8 overall. Also in their first conference match, or first conference games. Brace brings one in that just misses. As I mentioned, Indiana Tech ranked 16th in the top 25 poll. Coming off a 3-game series with Georgia Gwinnett College. They lost on Friday 10-5. Split on Saturday with a win 10-6 and then a loss of 4-3. As Brace with a 5-pitch walk makes it first. Runners on first and second now. That'll bring up Glenn McLean. Glenn grounded out to short into a double play to short in his first at bat to end the first inning. First pitch sails wide right. Glenn, a redshirt senior out of Fremont, Indiana. Transfer from Xavier University. Brace drills it in there, but he drills it to right, and they're going to wave him home. So Alvarez scores on the play. Olden moves over to third, and McLean now at first. And now the Blue Devils lead just 3-2. Brandon Dawson, the designated hitter, now at the plate. He walked in his first plate appearance. Also scored the first run of the game. First pitch from Brace in there for a strike. Dawson with 3 home runs on the season. 0-2 now on Dawson as he tries to fight back here. 2 outs. Man on first and third. 0-2 count now. Brace throws one in the dirt. Had a pitch to give up though. 0-2 count. Outfielder shaded a bit right. Corner infielders playing the corners a little bit. Still 1-2. See if Brace can get out of this jam here and keep the lead for the Blue Devils heading into the bottom of the third. Sails a slow pitch outside, 2-2 now from Brace. Breaking balls haven't been incredibly accurate thus far. Fastballs have seemed to help him out a bit more. See if he sticks with the fastball here. Checks the runner at first and delivers a fastball. Slow roller to third. And Childs unable to field it cleanly. And that's going to tie it up. 3-3 now. It was a slow roller. Childs knew he had to get it out of his hands quick. Looked like he tried to throw it as soon as he had it, but couldn't come up with it. Now the righty Kyle Harvey steps into the plate, and he'll try to give Indiana Tech the lead now. Harvey unable to pull back the bunt. Still just one down in the inning. Brandon Burst, the 9-hitter, started out the inning with a single. Alvarez then grounded out into a fielder's choice, and then Olden walked, and then a couple singles from McLean and Dawson. Now we have an 0-2 count here on Harvey. Harvey, a solid hitter this season, batting .311, 1 home run, 19 for 61. So we'll see if Brace gives a pitch away, tries to get him to chase here. Fastball low and away, 83 miles an hour. Good pitch there. Had a pitch to give. Now it's 1-2. Runners on first and second. 3-3 game here in the top of the third. Brace steps off, takes a look at the runner on second. That's McLean. Indiana Tech with a team average of .285 has 14 home runs on the season. As Harvey hits one to left field. Not deep enough to advance the runner at second. Now there'll be 2 outs in the top of the third. And that'll leave things up to Grant Heisinger, who was hit in the back of the head in the first inning. Stayed in the game, however, after a couple minutes of a bit of a checkup. Brace's 83-mile-an-hour fastball is low for the first pitch. 1-0 now. Brace delivers in another fastball, fouled away. 1-1 now. Got to think Brace will stick with the fastball here for the rest of the at-bat, or for most of the at-bat, just considering third's open. Doesn't want to move up the runner on a wild pitch from a breaking ball. Pickoff attempt to second, no good. Brace will be in the low to mid-80s on his fastball for most of the game. Heisinger drills one to second. And Grizel unable to field it cleanly. Bounced to Robinette. Robinette almost had a shot to get him at first, but by then Heisinger was already a couple steps away, so he just held the throw. No runs scored on the play, however, but now the base is loaded with 2 outs. That'll bring up Jake Ritson. Jake batting .293 on the season. He's got 10 RBIs. So he's done it before. We'll see if he can do it now. Or we'll see if Sam can get out of this jam. First pitch outside at 77. Second pitch also outside at 84 this time. We'll see if Ritson just waits for him to throw a strike. Brace has been unable to find the plate for the most part this inning, and even for the majority of the game. Grounds one to second. Grizel fields it cleanly. And Corbett able to catch the low throw. So Brace gets out of a bit of a jam, but not before allowing 2 runs to score this inning and tying the game at 3-3. We'll head to the bottom of the third where the Blue Devils will try to regain back the lead. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Cadman will lead things off here in the bottom of the third after a 2-run top of the third from the Crusaders. And Cadman drills one to right field. Alvarez able to camp under it, though, for 1 out. Sean Fannin now will step up to the plate. Fannin drilled in all 3 runs for the Blue Devils in the first inning by virtue of a 3-run shot to left field that just barely went over the fence for his first home run of the year. And Fannin now hits a little blooper into right, and he'll start things off with a single for the Blue Devils, see if they can get the lead back here in the bottom of the third. Fannin now 2 for 2 on the day, continuing his dominant season and his dominant college career. The cleanup hitter, Brian Corbett, will come up now. He also singled in his first at-bat, much like Cadman and Dobkowski. First pitch sails inside. And Corbett hits one to right field, much where Fannin hit his. And now we'll have runners on first and second with 1 out. So the top 4 batters now for Lawrence Tech, 6 for 8, while the bottom 5, 0 for 5. So we'll see if the bottom 5 can match what the top 4 are doing right now. And Logan Barker will step to the plate. Logan Barker, one of the bigger power hitters on this Blue Devil team. Logan without a home run this year, 5 home runs last season. And like I said, for Fannin, there probably wouldn't be a better time to do it than this game. Worked the first time, so we'll see if it works this time. Logan batting .355 this season, however, batted .260 last season. So power numbers a bit down, but his batting average is up. Barker grounds one to second to Birch. Birch to Ritson for 1 and to Heisinger for 2. So Barker grounds into a double play with just 1 out, runners on first and second, and the Blue Devils are unable to score in the bottom of the third. It'll remain a tie game, 3-3, as we head to the top of the fourth. This is the home for Lawrence Tech baseball. Trevor McDonald will lead things off here in the top of the fourth. 3-3 tie between the Crusaders and Blue Devils. after the Crusaders just scored 2 runs back in the 3rd inning from a walk and an error. One and two now on McDonald, the left fielder. And Brace got him swinging there. McDonald now 0 for 2 in the game. He grounded to short in his first at bat, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Brandon Birch, who started things off last inning with a single. And then after a fielder's choice, the Crusaders were able to put 2 up on the board. Swings through a pitch there. Brace really starting to find the strike zone now after a few walks and a couple hit by pitches early in the game. Now we got 0-2 count now with 1 out. Brace's 84-mile-an-hour fastball sails outside. Had a pitch to give, though. Now it's 1-2. And Birch grounds one up the middle to Brace, who easily tosses it over to Corbett for the second out of the inning. And Brace making quick work right now. Jacob Alvarez will step to the plate. Jacob 0 for 2, grounded to the pitcher. Also grounded to second for a fielder's choice last inning. Did score a run, though. And he pops one up down the right field line. However, that's going to drop. 3 guys going for it, nobody able to get to it. Oh, and 1 now on Alvarez. Brace's pitch count probably a little higher than where he'd like it to be so far. However, he's doing pretty solid this inning. As another one's hit down the right field line, and this one is also just foul. Oh, and 2 now on Alvarez. One and 2 pitch, grounded down the left field line, foul. They also ruled a couple of plays back in the top of the 3rd. Error from Brandon Dawson. Well, he reached on an error as that pitch misses just outside. And then Grant Heisinger also reached on an error. So Brace still with just 2 hits allowed. However, he's got 2 walks, 2 hit by pitches, and 3 errors now. Grounder to short. And Robinette able to make the nice play. And Brace gets out of the 4th with a 1-2-3 inning. And we are still tied up at 3-3. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th where the Blue Devils will try to regain the lead again. This is Lawrence Tech Sports Network. So Ryan Robinette, the man who ended the inning just a half inning ago, will lead off for the Blue Devils, the shortstop. Reach on an error in his first plate appearance. It's a slow grounder to third. Unable to beat it out as Kyle Harvey, the third baseman, made a nice throw to just get Ryan. So a quick out here in the bottom of the fourth, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Tyler Childs. Tyler grounded out into a double play in his first at bat back in the first. .64-mile-an-hour pitch there from Childs, who was way out in front of that one. Oh, and 2 now on Childs. Pretty chilly day out here in Utica. 30 degrees right now. And Childs hits a deep fly ball to right field, and this is going to hit the warning track. And Childs is going to slide in for a double. It looked like he hit that one pretty high. I thought that was going to be a pop-up to the right fielder, but that one just kept trailing and trailing. And it ended up getting all the way to the warning track for Childs' first hit of the game. Wind, not much of a factor here today. You can see the flag out in center. It's hardly moving, if anything, just maybe a bit out towards center. Now we've got a pinch hitter, Jackson Walkowiak, in for Luke Boucher. First pitch to Walkowiak, ball outside. One and one now on Walkowiak. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Walkowiak here, if he goes out into the field or if he's just a hitter as of now. 2 and 1 now. 1 out. After the first inning where Fannin hit that 3-run shot, the Blue Devils have really struggled to get anything going. But now with Childs out at second, we'll see if Walkowiak can drive him in here. Unable to do so on that pitch. 2 and 2 now. Walkowiak drills one to the left center gap. Childs is going to come in to score. Walkowiak checked to go to 2. Got a big jump since nobody was holding him at first. And Walkowiak gives the Blue Devils now a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. So a nice piece of hitting from Walkowiak. They're able to drive that fastball to the opposite field. Now that'll bring up the 9-spot hitter, Logan Grizel. He fouls one back to the screen. That breaking pitch in for a ball. 1-1 count now. Decent amount of people here for today's game. Everybody starting to enjoy what feels like is about to be spring weather. One and two now on Grizel. 8 hits for the Blue Devils, 2 for the Warriors. However, the Warriors, with a lot of men on base from errors, walks, and hit by pitches. Popped up to shortstop. Ritson under it for the second out of the inning. Wachowiak rather holds where he's at. And that'll bring us back to the top of the order where Eddie Dobkowski will try to get something going with 2 outs. Dobkowski singled in his first at bat as he fouls one back here and was struck out looking back in the second inning. 1 for 2 today with a run scored. That one fouled out of play again. Dobkowski out of Romeo, Michigan, went to Romeo High School. A senior, stands in at 6 foot. Biomedical engineering major. Batting .308 this season so far, 12 for 39, not counting today's at-bats. So now he's 13 for 41. No home runs on the season, no doubles. So quite the leadoff hitter. That pitch sails outside at 82 miles an hour. Wachowiak takes a lead, and he's going. However, Dobkowski swings and misses. McLean sends it over to first to complete the out. And the Blue Devils inning will end there. However, they get a run to jump back on top with a 4-3 lead now over the Crusaders. We'll head to the top of the 5th inning where Indiana Tech will try to make their way back to a tie game. This is the home of Lawrence Tech baseball. Back here in Utica, Michigan at Jimmy John's Field as Reese Olden steps to the plate. LTU got a run back in that bottom of the 4th inning, where now they lead 4-3. One and one now to Olden. Brace was at 65 pitches before the start of the inning. He's averaging about 16 per inning. So we'll see if he can make it to, hopefully through 6, maybe to the 7th. Olden drills one to right center, and he'll lead off the Crusaders with a single as they try to tie the game back up. This is Olden's first time, or first hit of the game. However, he's been on base 3 times. Reach on an error in the first, reach on a walk in the third. Now on a single here in the 5th. Glenn McLean now at the plate, grounded into a double play in the first inning, also singled back in the 3rd. As Brace throws over to Corbett. McLean batting .324 with a 1,082 OPS. As he tries to lay down a bunt there, but it goes out of play. 0-1. Interesting bunt attempt from McLean there. He's got 5 home runs on the season with a .608 slugging percentage. Being 3rd in the order, you'd think he'd have a better shot of singling and scoring than you would moving someone up with another out. See what he does here, though. No bunt, but pulls one way foul. Oh and 2 now on Olden. Or on McLean, rather. That pitch outside. McLean hit one of those home runs in a game against Georgia Gwinnett. That was in the loss, 10-5. That 73-mile-an-hour pitch low, now 2-2 with a runner on first. Dobkowski shaded to the right a bit. Fannin playing deep. He drills one to left center field, and this one's going to drop up against the wall. And they're going to send Olden home. And he's going to score with ease all the way from first. So nice piece of hitting there from McLean. As he drives in Olden, now we are back to a tie 4-4 game. And now we've got a runner on second. And it looks like that's going to be Jashawn Simon coming in to pinch run for McLean. McLean is the catcher. But now we got a 4-4 tie game here in the top of the 5th. And still just no outs. Give credit there to Olden for coming all the way around from first to score, even on a fly ball like that. Had to check to see if he wasn't going to catch it. Knew he wasn't right away. And didn't look back. 0-1 now on Brandon Dawson, the designated hitter. Dawson batting a monster 1249 OPS. 3 home runs with a .727 slugging percentage. He's got 8 doubles and 55 at-bats. Brace's fastball comes in low, 1-1 now. Dawson sends one down the left field line. They're going to send McLean home. The throw comes in, not in time. And Dawson also able to get to second on the throw. Looks like Childs probably should have ended up cutting that off. Throw really didn't have a shot. Cadman didn't even try to tag him. Now we got a 5-4 game. And now with a runner on second instead of first because of that throw. So still nobody down. And Brace's pitch count getting up there. We're going to have a mound visit. Brace at 76 pitches now. Nobody down. We do have some action in the bullpen. I can't tell from here who it is. But it looks like he's going to be coming in. So we'll take a quick break as we're getting a pitching change. Indiana Tech leads 5-4. We'll be right back. So now on the mound for the Blue Devils will be Ben Schmidt, a freshman out of Northville, Michigan. He's coming in with a runner on second, nobody down. Number 6, Kyle Harvey, shows bunt, pulls it back. Now it's 1-0. Schmidt with 4 appearances on the season, 7 1/3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 3.6 ERA, and a solid 185 opposing batting average. Shows bunt again, pulls it back. Runner at second goes nowhere, 2-0 now. Shows bunt again, this time gets it down. And the play is to first, where they get the out there, but Harvey does his job from advancing Dawson from second to third. Now we have 1 out.
First baseman number 5, Grant Heisinger.
Grant Heisinger now at the plate, batting .200. Just 3 games started. 3 games played as well. Schmidt gets one in at 80 miles an hour. As Heisinger fouls it back. Next pitch at 82 outside. 1-1 now. 1 down, runner at third is Dawson, excuse me. Infield in. Outfield pretty straight up. The 1-1. Breaking ball. Misses high. Wind really starting to pick up now as he drives one to right field, and this ball is going to drop, and this is going to get another run. So now a 6-4 lead for the Warriors, or the Crusaders.
The shortstop number 3, Jake Ritson.
It is the Warriors. I don't know why I've been saying Crusaders. Oh well. Crusaders, Warriors, they're all the same thing. Pickoff attempt. Not in time. Ritson drops down a bunt. Childs unable to clean it. And a bunt that was supposed to be a sacrifice now turned into an infield single. Now we got runners on first and second with one out. Let's see. Crusader, a fighter in the medieval crusades. That's the definition. And a warrior is a brave or experienced soldier or fighter. So they're pretty close. Crusader, warrior, same thing. So now Schmidt working with his own runners on the base path. As McDonald drops down a bunt. And they get him at first, but not before the runners at second and third advance. So now we got 2 down, runners at second and third. And Brandon Birch will be the hitter.
The second baseman number 2, Brandon Birch.
This all started from a single from Reese Olden, then from a double from McLean, and now, fortunately, Brandon Birch gets hit by a pitch. Now we're going to jump back to the top of the order. The top of the order averaging much higher than the bottom, so you know Schmidt definitely wanted to get him there, get out of the jam. So we got Heisinger at third, Ritson at second, and Birch at first. 2 down, no count. And the Warriors have a 6-4 lead. Jacob Alverdrez looks at a first pitch strike. Drills one down the right field line, just foul. Oh, and 2 now. See if Schmidt can get out of the jam. And he cannot. Lines one right up the middle. 1 run will score. Make that 2. Now an 8-4 lead for the Warriors. Schmidt threw one right in there on an 0-2 count. Gave him an easy pitch to hit. And Alvarez made him pay the price.
The center fielder, number 9, Reese Olden.
Back to Reese Olden, who led off the inning now. So Brandon Birch now at second. Alvarez at first. And Reese Olden now at the plate with 2 outs. See if he can increase the lead even more. Alvarez pops up down the right field line. And just drops foul. Brian Corbett seemed to camp under it, but couldn't get exactly under it. Tried to basket catch it. Twirled around at the last second. Couldn't make the catch. See if Alvarez will make him pay for that. Brace's final line, 4 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, a double off of 76 pitches. Just 5 hits allowed. And Ben Schmidt gets him looking, but not before the Warriors score 5 in the 5th, giving them now an 8-4 lead. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th, where the Blue Devils will try to make their way back. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Now to the bottom of the 5th inning, the catcher Max Cadman will lead us off. Called first strike. Cadman out of Heartland, Michigan, a junior. Stands in at 5'11", 180. Lefty hitter. 1-1 now. Cadman takes a pitch looking. Now it's 1-2. Since they're at the top of the order, they really need to start getting something going here. And they do just that. Nice single for Cadman, hit down the right field line. And we'll see if Sean Fannin, the Gold Glove winner, can do something about it.
The right fielder, number 14, Sean Fannin.
First pitch in there a little bit low, but a called strike. Fannin obviously with the homer in the first and then singled back in the third. Pickoff attempt a little late over to first. McBroom obviously had a rough first inning, giving up 3 runs. Slowed down a little bit after that. Just 55 pitches so far today. 4 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. A lot of hits, though, for the Blue Devils. That pitch inside, 1-1 now. Sean Fannin from Grosse Pointe, Michigan, to University Liggett High School. Fannin pops one up, foul territory. That'll get into the seats. Next pitch misses just outside. 2-2 now on Fannin. Runner Cadman at first. Count now full on Fannin. Cadman most likely not going to be running here. Just 1 stolen base this year, 3 in the 2 years before. Pickoff attempt, though, to first. Another pickoff attempt, still doesn't get him. The 3-2, grounded to second. Only going to be able to get 1 as Fannin grounds out to second. Advances Cadman to second. That'll bring up the first baseman, number 7, Brian Corbett.
The first baseman, number 7, Brian Corbett.
Brian with 2 singles so far today. Fouls the first pitch back. LTU down 8-4 here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 out, man on second. Cleanup hitter up. Definitely be a big help here if they could drive him in. Man on second, just 1 down, and you're at near the top of the lineup. Nice pitch there on the outer edge. 0-2 now on Corbett. Next pitch low and outside. Corbett batting .400 this season after batting just .250 and .200 the years before. Corbett drills one to right field. And they're going to send him home. Cuts off the throw. And the pinch runner for Cadman, Tyler Cleesby, will come in to score. So make it 8-5 now in favor of the Warriors. Now the DH, Logan Barker. Logan 0 for 2 on the day. Swings through a breaking ball there. Now 0-1. Corbett taking his lead. Outfielder somewhat shallow. Infielder's back. And Corbett's going to advance to second on that pass ball there. Get himself into scoring position and out of force out position with just 1 out. Count is 0-2. And Barker is going to be caught looking on a fastball outside for the second out of the inning. He's going to leave it up to Ryan Robinette to drive in Corbett. Brian Corbett on second drove in a run. We'll see if Ryan Robinette can do the same. McBroom takes a long look over to second. Steps off. The pitch is going to be a little low. 1-0 now on Robinette, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Reach on an error back in the first. Also grounded to third. The 1-0 in for a strike. 1-1 now. Robinette out of Midland, Michigan. Went to Bullock Creek High School. Stands in at 6 feet. A junior. Swings and misses on that off-speed pitch at 63 miles an hour. Corbett was running on the pitch. However, Robinette fouled it away. Called for a hit and run there on 1-1. Now 1-2. The 1-2, grounded up the middle, hits the mound. However, the shortstop, Jake Ritson, able to clean it up nicely, send it over to first Heisinger. And the Blue Devils will strand a runner at second, but not before scoring a run to make it 8-5 now. Indiana Tech ready to bat in the top of the 6th. This is the home for Lawrence Tech baseball. The first pitch to Glenn McClain, who leads off the top of the sixth for the Warriors, is outside. McClain 2 for 3 in the day. Started the first inning with a double play that he grounded into, but it's come back nicely with a couple hits. That one fouled off just behind the plate. Lawrence Tech was able to score a run and claw back from that 4-run deficit back in the bottom of the fifth. Stranded a runner on second, however. And now Ben Schmidt back on the mound. Going to try to hold Indiana Tech to 8 runs this inning. 1-2 now. One and two pitch fouled away. Logan Grizel, second baseman, almost on the grass, as well as Ryan Robinette at short. Outfield pretty tight, not deep. And Schmidt able to get Glenn McClain looking for the first out of the inning. That's Schmidt's second strikeout on the day. Brandon Dawson, the power leader or power hitter on the team, is 1 for 2 today. Has reached base all 3 times. Reached on an error back into third. In for a called strike here. Next pitch, also a called strike. 0-2 now on Dawson. See if Schmidt can get out of this inning quickly. Opts for the fastball away. Can't get him to chase there. 1-2 now. See if he tries an off-speed pitch here since he's ahead in the count. And he does just that. 70 miles an hour. Got him swinging. 2 down now. That's 3 strikeouts in a row now for Schmidt. Indiana Tech leading the run battle, but Lawrence Tech leading the hit battle at 10-7. However, Lawrence Tech also with 3 errors on the day. Kyle Harvey at the plate takes the first pitch high. Harvey, the third baseman, was hit by a pitch in the second inning, flew out to left in the third, and then moved up a runner with a sac bunt back in the fifth. Two now on Harvey, or 3-0, make that. Now 3-1 on a pitch that just grazes the lower part of the zone. You know, Coach Stan Eldridge would love Schmidt to get him here as he fouls one down the left field line. Since we're on 2 9-inning games today, Eldridge doesn't want to dip too deep into his bullpen so early. Since Sam Brace only threw for 4 innings, he would probably like Schmidt to get to at least 3 to 4 innings here, you'd assume. Nice breaking pitch from Schmidt there. Over Harvey, just able to get a piece of it. 8-5, Warriors lead the Blue Devils here in the top of the 6th at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Ooh, a nice snag there by Childs to end the inning. Made a nice leap at it. If not, that probably would have been 2 bases for Harvey, but not anymore as Childs makes that nice play. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning where the Blue Devils keep chipping at the 8-5 game. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Tyler Childs, who recorded the final out of the last inning, is going to lead off the Blue Devils here in an 8-5 game in the bottom of the 6th. As the first pitch sails low for a ball, 1-0. Childs 1 for 2 on the day, grounded out into a double play in the first inning and doubled back in the 4th. Ended up scoring on that double. Pops one to right field. This is going to get way out of play. One and one now on Childs. Childs batting .500 on the season, 16 for 32, no home runs. Last season batted .278 with 4 home runs, 5 doubles. Two and two now on Childs, the mechanical engineering major. Three-run deficit for the Blue Devils. The new pitcher in for the Warriors is number 27, Dan Shaw. Dan Shaw with a 1.7 ERA in 25 innings pitched, 8 appearances with a .96 whip. Shows why right there. A nice breaking ball to record the first out of the inning. Jackson Wakowiak will step in now. Jackson pinched hit for Luke Boucher back in the 4th. And he singled. Singles able to drive in Tyler Childs. First pitch, a strike on the outside edge. Oh, and 2 now on Walkowiak. Ball outside in the dirt. Jackson, a .444 hitter this season. 16 for 36. 1 home run. Last season batted .321 with 1 home run. On base percentage of .553 so far this year, which gives him an OPS above 1180. Swung on and missed at the off-speed pitch. Now 2 down. Bottom of the order, the second baseman, Logan Grizel, steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout looking back in the 2nd. Popped up to short in the 4th. Shows bunt, but it hits him. And he's going to head down to first. Just pulled the bat back in time. But that'll bring us to the top of the order, Eddie Dobkowski, who struck out in his last 2 at-bats. Shaw delivers. First pitch in for a strike, 0-1, 2 down. Runner on first, 8-5 lead for the Warriors. Center fielder Olden shaded pretty far right. Second pitch just misses inside. 1-1 count now. Grizel batting .421 this year after a couple of rough last 2 seasons. Batted .174 last year and .160 the year before that. Batting .421 this season, already matched his high hit total from 2 years ago. So we'll see if he can continue that now that we're in conference play. 2-1 now on Grizel. Swung on and missed an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. So Shaw's got some speed for sure. Blew that one right by him. We'll see if he goes to it again or if he goes to the breaking ball. The breaking ball got the first 2 outs of the inning on strikeouts. He goes with the fastball now at 89, blew it right by him. What at the top of the 7th now as the Blue Devils still trail 8-5. This is the home for Lawrence Tech baseball. Ben Schmidt out for his third inning of work as he tries to keep the deficit at 3. First baseman Grant Heisinger at the plate. It's a high fly ball down the left field line. And Wakowiak camps under it, able to put the first out away.
The shortstop number 3, Jake Ritson.
Shortstop Jake Ritson steps into the plate, single in his last at-bat, scored 1 of 5 runs from the Warriors back in the top of the 5th. Fouls the first one behind him. Oh, and 2 now on Ritson. Ritson batting .293, 10 RBIs on the season. And he hits a high fly ball to right field. Fannin also camped under it. 2 away now. So Schmidt doing a pretty solid job these last 2 innings after giving up a couple runs of his own in the top of the 5th.
The left fielder for 1, Trevor McDonald.
Trevor McDonald now in. Grounded to short in his first at-bat, struck out swinging in his second, and then had a sacrifice bunt in the 5th. One and 0 on McDonald, the left fielder. Ball low, 2-0 now. Indiana Tech scored 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 5 in the 5th. Well, Lawrence Tech scored 3 in the first off Sean Fannin's home run, 1 in the 4th, and then 1 in the 5th. It's going to be tough to claw back now with Dan Shaw on the mound. He's done really well this season. So it would have meant a lot if the Blue Devils could have capitalized on some of the guys left on base while the starter was still in, McBroom. Now McDonald will advance to first on a walk. Now at the bottom of the lineup, the second baseman, Brandon Birch, will bat.
Number 2, Brandon Birch.
Don't want to let this one get to the top of the lineup now with what would be 2 people on base if Birch were to get on and create an even bigger deficit. Schmidt gets set. Gets the first breaking ball in there at 68 miles an hour in for a strike. Birch is 1 for 2 today. Singled in his first at-bat, grounded out to the pitcher, and then was hit by a pitch. He fouls that one out of play. 0-2 now. McDonald, the runner, on first. He is 4 for 7 on stolen base attempts this season. So there's a possibility that he could be running with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Does not go. Deep fly ball hit to left center. And Dobkowski is under it to put it away. And to put the top of the 7th inning away as well. Blue Devils still down 3 runs. They'll try to tie it up here in the bottom of the 7th. This is the home for Lawrence Tech baseball. Max Cadman will lead us off here in the bottom of the 7th. Hope everybody got their 7th inning stretch in. Swings and misses at a high fastball. 1-1 now. Nice breaking pitch there from Shaw. 3 strikeouts, a hit by pitch in 1 inning of work so far. Now 1-2 on Cadman, who is 2 for 3 today with 2 runs scored, 2 singles, and a fly out to right. Popped up, that'll get back into the seats. Still 2-2. Another one fouled out of play. This one popped up. And the right fielder, Jacob Alvarez, is under it. One away. That'll bring up the MVP hitter, Sean Fannin. 2 for 3 today. Grounded to second in his last at-bat. Nice off-speed pitch there. 0-2 now, 1 down. And strike 3. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 7th. Dan Shaw making quick work of this Blue Devil team. Ever since McBroom left the game, Blue Devils haven't really been able to do much. Just 7 outs to go for the Warriors. So Blue Devils have got to start here soon. Ball 1 misses outside. As Brian Corbett steps to the plate. 3 for 3 today with 3 singles. And he grounds 1 to first. Heisinger can't handle it though. So Corbett's going to reach on an error. And we'll see if Logan Barker can drive him in and make the Warriors pay.
The designated hitter, number 29, Logan Barker.
First pitch in for a strike. Logan Barker out of Chatham, Virginia, sophomore. This one popped up, but Alvarez is able to camp under it. So the Blue Devils strand a man on first, and we will head to the top of the 8th where the Warriors will try to increase their 3-run lead. This is the home for Lawrence Psych Baseball. And the first pitch hits him. And it looks like we've got a new pitcher on the mound. And that was Jacob Alvarez getting hit. And that brings up number 9, Reese Olden. Bunt laid down by Olden. And takes the out at first. So man on second now, 1 down. On the mound is number 17, Kyle Walter, a junior out of Canton, Michigan. 6 appearances thus far this year. 7 innings pitched, a 9 ERA, opposing batting average of .429. Has 7 walks and just 4 strikeouts. Two 2-0 pitch sailed down the left field line, foul. 2-1 now on the catcher, Glenn McLean. Glenn is 2 for 2, or 2 for 4 rather. A double, a run scored. Also a strikeout looking. And he walked him. Now runners on first and second. Still 1 out. And that brings up Brandon Dawson. It's a guy you do not want to face with just 1 out and runners on first and second. Ben Schmidt threw 3 innings, 2 earned runs. Also struck out 3. Indiana Tech batting 6 for 18, batting .333 with runners on today. Batting also .333, 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position. 0-1 now in Dawson. One and 2 now on Dawson, the designated hitter. Walter takes a look at second. And they're going to get him at third. He bounced a pitch, but it landed right in front of the catcher, Cadman. Cadman was able to clean it easy. And Alvidrez rather, is caught looking over at third, or caught stealing over at third. So now 2 outs, runner just on second. And Dawson still at the plate now, a 2-2 count. Can't afford to give up any more runs here. And he lines one to center. Dobkowski cleans it, fires home. That's going to be cut off, though. And with that, the Warriors now have a 4-run lead, 9-5 here in the top of the 8th.
Third baseman number 6, Kyle Harvey.
So a nice piece of hitting there from Dawson to bring up Kyle Harvey, the third baseman. And Harvey drills one to left. Walkowski unable to come up with it. Now we're going to have runners on second and third with 2 outs. It's going to bring up Grant Heisinger. Surprised they took Ben Schmidt out so early. He was throwing him pretty well after the last couple innings. Only ended up throwing about 40 to 45 pitches. Figured he would want him to go as long as possible, considering you got a whole nother 9-inning game today. But tomorrow they're going to take on Lourdes University in a doubleheader, so maybe he's going to keep him fresh for tomorrow as well. One and one now on Heisinger. Called second strike. 1-2, 2 outs. Dawson the runner at third, Harvey the runner at second. 9-5 lead for the Warriors over the Blue Devils. And the lefty takes a pitch outside, 2-2 now on Heisinger, the first baseman. Only hit today has been a single. That was back in the 5th inning. He ended up scoring. He was one of those 5 runs that gave the Warriors that 3-run lead at the time. And Heisinger hits one right through the shortstop and third baseman. 1 run's going to score, while Kowiak's throw is going to be not in time. So that's 2 more runs on the board now for the Warriors, making an 11-5 game. And a single from Heisinger, and he'll move up to second on the throw. Now a 6-run lead for the Warriors.
The shortstop number 3, Jake Ritson.
A couple more insurance runs there for the Warriors, as the Blue Devils are now down 6 with just a couple innings left to play. The Warriors looking to make it even bigger deficit. First pitch in for a strike. Pickoff attempt to second, not in time. Grounder down the left field line, third baseline. And Childs made the move to pick it up before it went into foul territory, but made an errant throw, pulled Corbett off the bag. So now we're going to have runners at first and third with 2 outs. Short grounder hit back to the mound. And Walter makes a nice play to get out of the inning. But not before the Warriors score another 3 runs to make it a 6-run game now. Lawrence Tech down 6 runs. This is the home for Lawrence Tech baseball. Ryan Robinette is going to lead off for the Blue Devils, try to get something going. They're down 6 runs, so they have to get something going here early, preferably with no outs. Shows bunt, pulls it back, but misses probably just a bit outside. Wind starting to blow from left to right. As Robinette pops one sky high down the right field foul line. Second baseman calls off the first baseman, Heisinger, for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up third baseman number 15, Tyler Childs. First pitch in for a strike. And Childs hits it hard, but straight to the first baseman, Heisinger, for the second out of the inning. Just 4 outs left for the Blue Devils to get something going. And Jackson Walkowiak's going to step up to the plate. So if something were to happen, it'd probably be next inning once they get to the top of the order with no outs. But we'll take anything we can get right here. Walkowiak, as well as Childs, both struck out in their last at-bat. First pitch in for a ball. 1-0. The lefty Shaw still working. He's done well so far. Koyak unable to hold up on that pitch. Makes it a 1-1 count now. And Koyak going to take a base after being hit. So Koyak gets a big lead and a pickoff attempt. You can see that one coming. Koyak's had a pretty solid, sizable lead. 2 down now with Grizel at the plate. Grizel 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch back in the 6th inning. .86-mile-an-hour fastball missed. Another pickoff attempt. Shaw right now at 2 2/3 of an inning pitched. No hits, no earned runs. And just an error and 2 hit by pitches to show for. 1-1 now. Shaw also has 4 strikeouts and is 2 2/3. The 1-1 swung on and missed. And apparently it was a 1-2. Nonetheless, that'll end the inning for the Blue Devils as we head to the top of the 9th, where the Warriors will try to get a couple more insurance runs. They lead 11-5. This is the home for Lawrence Tech baseball. Now to the top of the 9th, as we have a single here to start off the top of the 9th from the Warriors. That was number 8, Spencer McGee. Jacob Alvarez now back out to run. Or pardon, Brandon Birch now back out to run. Jacob Alvarez is now at the plate. And on the mound, we have a pitching change. Harry Storch now on the mound. Harry out of Orlando, Florida, civil engineering major. Appeared 4 times so far this season. 5 earned runs for an 8.44 ERA. Opposing batting average of .333. Better season last season. Batting average opposing of just .259. And that one sails behind the batter. That'll be an easy advanced base for Birch, as we are now at the top of the order. Two now on Alvidrez. Three now. Alvidrez is 1 for 4 today. Had a single back in the 5th and was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance. And that one sails in for a strike. 3-1 now. Beautiful spring day out here in Utica. As Alvidrez grounds one to short. And Robinette able to make the play. 1 down, runner on third now. Reese Holden, the center fielder, is going to be at the plate now. First pitch low. Reese Holden batting .233 this season. Lines one to center field. That's going to get another run in to make it 12-5 now. As Reese drives in his 7th RBI of the season. Glenn McClain, the catcher, now be at the plate. He's got 2 runs scored today. First pitch low, 1-0. One and one now. 12-5 Warriors lead here in the top of the 9th. And McClain drives one to third base. Childs stopped it, but couldn't find it. We got runners on first and second now, 1 down. Brandon Dawson now steps to play. He's got a couple singles on the day. Harry gets the first one in there at 80 miles an hour in for a strike. Next one also in for a strike. Looked to be a little low. Nonetheless, 0-2 count now. One out. Olden at second. McLean at first. Dawson at the plate. Next pitch in the dirt. Stopped by Cadman. High fly ball deep to right field. Edge of the warning track. And the runners were on their move. So Reese Olin is going to be doubled up on that one. So that's going to end the inning. Lawrence Tech down 7. They're going to need a big miracle inning here in the bottom of the ninth to take this one. Blue Devils down 12-5. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Bunt attempt on the first pitch. It's going to be fouled out of play. Eddie Dobkowski at the plate to lead off the bottom of the ninth. Going to need a big 7-run inning here from the Blue Devils to have any chance of winning this one. Eddie started off strong this game with a single and a run scored, but has struck out in his last 3 at-bats. And now he's down 0-2 here. And Dobkowski swings and misses. And that's his 4th strikeout on the game. I'll bring up the catcher, number 13, Max Cadman. Max with 2 singles and 2 flyouts to right as the center fielder moves to the left, shades to the left. First pitch high for a called ball, 1-0. Indiana Tech with 14 hits on the day, LTU with 10. However, LTU with 3 errors as well as a few walks and hit by pitches. Next pitch fouled back. One and two now on Cadman as the Blue Devils are down to their final 2 outs until the next game. See if you can at least get a little bit of momentum in for the next game as Cadman takes one looking on the outside. Sean Fannin will step to the plate now, their final chance. You don't want to score 3 runs in the first inning and then only a couple later on and then have a whole nother game without some momentum. So we'll see if Sean can at least get on base here in the bottom of the 9th. First pitch, a breaking ball. Looked to be a little bit outside, but it's a called for a strike. Next pitch a little low. Two and one now on Fannin. Two and one, 2 down. Right fielder or center fielder shaded pretty far right. Now 2 and 2 on Fannin. So the Blue Devils down to their final strike here before game 1 is over. It's 12-5 right now. Blue Devils had the lead all the way up until the top of the 5th where the Warriors had themselves a 5-run inning. The pitch grounded down the left field line. Foul. So again, 2 and 2, 2 down, nobody on. Blue Devils down 12-5. Shaw sets and delivers. And a ball just outside. Didn't look to be too much different from the first strike that was called on Fannin. Now the count is full, 2 outs, nobody on. And Shaw delivers. Swung on, high fly ball to right field. Alvidrez under it. And that will end game 1. Final score, Warriors 12, Blue Devils 5. And not to worry, we do have another game coming up. 9 more innings of play. Should be about half an hour break. Usually players get warmed up. Pitchers start to get warmed up. So we'll be back around, I don't know, say 4:15 or so, just to be safe. But nonetheless, the Warriors take game 1 of 2, 12-5. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network.